To be standing before you today, this Thursday, July 4th, 2013. On behalf of Megan and Jake, I would like to thank everyone, each and everyone, for joining us on this wonderful, beautiful occasion. What is marriage? Marriage is a lasting friendship. It is feeling comfortable with each other, shedding all pretenses, and just being you. It is sharing with one another both big and small things, joys and sorrows, laughter and tears. It is counting on one another to understand your moods, to put up with each other's failings, to be there when needed most, with encouragement, a smile, or just a look. I stand here today and see two wonderful people who took life's gifts and turned them into better ones. It is nothing short of amazing. With that said, I leave you with these words. I cannot promise you a life of sunshine, riches, or every waking moment to be the best, or an easy pathway that leads away from change or growing old. However, I can say that you have each other for love, guidance, and support along the way. Take everything with strides and consideration, keeping each other's best interests in mind. And if you can do that, everything will turn out just fine. Along with these words, Megan and Jake have vows they would like to express to each other.
If someone had told me 3 years ago I would be doing this tonight, I would have laughed at them and thought that they didn't know me at all, because my dreams never did revolve around a husband or babies. But life happened, and even though I totally could have been a sensation, I wouldn't trade my life for anyone else's, and I owe that entirely to you. You've loved me through every challenge, exactly as I am. You love me when I'm cranky, and you love me when I'm messy, and you even love me that time I accidentally gained 50 pounds. You loved me when I was so homesick that I forgot who I was for a while, and I could never thank you enough for that. I'm so incredibly lucky to have you in my life, and I intend to spend all of it returning the love you've shown to me. So tonight, I choose you to be my husband, because you are the man I hope my son grows up to be, my best friend and my teammate forever. I love you so much. Thank you for marrying me.
Herman's having a little trouble. Let him dry his tears. It'll be fine.
I should have gone first. So I need to preface this with it may seem like I'm going off on tangents, but I promise there's a point. So stick with me, trust me. So when Meg and I were talking about what we wanted to do for our wedding, I asked her if we could do our own vows. That's not an easy request to grant, to write something that is hopefully thoughtful, heartfelt, with maybe a bit of humor, which you know, and end up with something that won't put all of you to sleep as we stand up here. But luckily, and true to her form, she took me up on the offer. One of the ideas she came up with to help us was to get on the same page with what we would write, set some type of word limit, maybe use a common word or phrase, each of ours, to help the cohesion. Things like that. I thought it was a great idea, and as much as I may hear more about it later, I broke the rules. I don't think it would be a surprise for anyone here to hear that I'm not exactly the most emotionally outward guy, besides my little outbursts. The reason why I wanted to write our own vows was so that Meg could hear something I don't think I've ever really been able to tell her, something that I hope I can tell her more often, how I truly feel about it. As I started putting things on paper, I realized that although I can empathize with the standard I promised 2 vows, they simply aren't a representation of my feelings. I'm quite the procrastinator, although Meg does give me quite the run for my money. So by the time I came to this conclusion, Meg had already jotted some things down. I didn't have the heart to tell her. I couldn't stick with the guidelines. So deciding it was better to ask for forgiveness and permission, here we are. I've always been fascinated by space. The fact that our universe is constantly expanding, that the farthest we've been in our solar system is just a mere glimpse into the Milky Way, which in itself is only one of billions of galaxies out there. Things like that intrigue me. There are a lot of positives to appreciating the enormousness of space, but a potential negative is the belief that our existence does not even register as a blip on the universal radar, that life has the potential to be short and finite. It can be incredibly depressing to look around and see all the horrible things that we do to each other. Life has the potential to become overwhelming and lonely. I have experienced all of those negative feelings and more, and found myself questioning if I could ever find peace. And I met you. In trying to write my vows, I realized that I can't promise you that we will be together 50 years from now. That I can't promise to always be able to look at you and feel how I do now. The only thing I can promise you is that I'll always be grateful for the chance we have been given. That in the vastness of space and the immensity of time, our paths have crossed and we have found each other. There is without a doubt no better fit for me than you. No one I'd rather go through this adventure with. I once described you to someone as my unicorn. This magical creature that exists but no one can find. I never thought I would find you. The person who makes me feel whole and complete. There are 1,000 things I could say to try and explain how I feel, that you are my best friend. I can be myself without reservation with you, and how incredibly proud of you I am. But all those things fall short. Everything I feel about you, in the future, my life, and we as a couple, can be summed up simply as, thank you for bringing me peace. Thank you for marrying me. I love you. See, I can follow some of those.
I'm sorry.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Now we'll be given the raisins.
Wow.
I will love you forever. I do.
I will love you forever. I do.
Megan. I will love you forever. I do.
I will love you forever. I do.
It's with great honor to introduce to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Jake Dale. You may kiss the bride. All right, I guess let's party, guys. Woo! All right, they're gonna do their first dance to start off with. So if y'all wanna,
Right now.
yes, right now, of course. Right here in front.